Hello everybody, welcome back to the stream. Good to see you again. Alright, so today I've got a couple of things that I want to do. The first one is I want to add a new ability that will change the critical chance and or critical multiplier of a card in a semi-permanent way, not in a way that has to be executed. We'll get into that in just a second. And then also we're going to be just working through the backlog here. So yesterday we were working on adding more negative alchemy abilities. I'm thinking we could do a couple more of those and then we can move on to adding some more trigger node buffs, debuffs, or adding more obelisk powers. I think maybe obelisk powers would be a good one to do. So anyway, let's get through these little ads here before getting into all that. So Alchemortis is available for wishlisting on Steam. It's a dark fantasy roguelite auto battler. It's what I'm working on today. So if you're interested, if that sounds good, check out the Steam page and give it a wishlist. I would appreciate that. You can also support me and the game on Patreon. If you subscribe for 1 month at this top tier here, for at least 1 month at this top tier, I'll send you an Alchemortis Steam key when the game launches. So it's like a pre-purchase of the game. And your name will also be listed in the Alchemortis in-game credits. So definitely consider doing that if you're interested. And also, I've got the Udemy courses available. So these will teach you how to build complete games in the Godot engine. If that sounds interesting to you, check it out. It's a great way to support me again, and it's also a great way to learn how to build games. And you can join the Discord as well. Everything is linked in the description below. All right, so let's get right into it. But first, hello, Lukey. Welcome back. Long time no see. Yeah, it's been a while, but glad to see you again. So yeah, here we have these alchemy abilities. And what I want to do is an alchemy negative ability that reduces the critical chance or critical multiplier. Now the problem is I don't have any mechanism for doing that in a permanent way. So in other words, I have no way of putting an ability on the card that reduces the crit chance by, let's say, 10 or 20%, and then have that reflected in the card's tooltip. So I'm going to need to implement that. And because right now the current way that I'm doing this is I am, like, if I go to, for example, the zombie here, the zombie has this ability: if there's an adjacent alchemical card, gain a critical chance and critical multiplier. However, the way that this is being done internally is that this just applies a buff during the card's execution, during the zombie's execution. It just applies a buff to the crit chance and crit multiplier, and that buff immediately disappears after the execution is finished. So it never actually updates the tooltip. It never actually gives the player any indication that this is working. So we're going to want to change the zombie to use the more permanent style of modifying the critical chance and critical multiplier. And then we can also include a critical chance and critical multiplier reduction as a negative alchemy ability. So anyway, all that said, let's get into it. So I'm going to need to use this non-combat composed ability. What these non-combat composed abilities are is these are abilities that get updated outside of combat. So when combat is running, these abilities don't get called, but they will be called, or they will be executed outside of combat when the card is placed on the board. So this is kind of the way that I'm changing stats for cards and whatnot with abilities. And now I need to figure out how to actually do this. Now I need to figure out how to actually do this. Turn cooldown modifier. So I think what I might do here, base critical chance, base critical multiplier. Get modified critical chance. Okay, so what I might need to do here is I might need to... So there's this function, update non-combat abilities. So this is the function that gets called. It gets called whenever the board state updates. And the board state changes whenever the cards on the board change, essentially. So if a card changes position, the board state has been updated. And so what it does is it iterates over all the cards on the board and updates non-combat abilities, because some of these non-combat abilities are based on being adjacent to certain types of cards. And so if a card gets moved on the board, we need to update that state to make sure that that adjacency bonus is still applicable, for instance. So I think in here what I need to do is I probably just need to have like a critical multiplier. So if I do, does this need to be public? It does. Okay, that's fine. So the base card here, so we're gonna do public float critical chance modifier, get private set. Oh no, we don't want this to be a private set. And then we're gonna do public float critical multiplier modifier. Okay, and then we're just going to follow the pattern that we have here. We're going to do critical chance modifier is equal to 0 and then critical multiplier modifier is equal to 0. So we basically reset all these modifiers to 0 whenever update non-combat abilities gets called, and then all the non-combat abilities will be executed with sort of like a dummy execution context, and then that is where I can actually change the critical multipliers. So I'm actually going to copy this, create a new file, self-critical multiplier. Critical, let's do chance first. Chance modification. Self-critical chance modification. Float base value. Float change is equal to, well, that's probably fine actually. Base value, I guess. I will just call it base value. Private float magnitude. Oh, high ability magnitude cannot implement. Hello, Emerson. Good morning to you. What's the plan for today? Negative abilities. Yeah, we're adding some abilities that can change the critical chance and critical multiplier. The problem here, does this need to be, hold on, does this need to be an eye ability magnitude? It probably does. So here's the problem. This eye ability magnitude interface, this provides a way of basically having abilities with magnitudes that can be modified. Hey dog, can you stop? Thank you. Thank you. But the problem is that the critical chance modification needs to be a float value. So this is a little bit tricky. Eye ability magnitude. This is used basically everywhere. Do I have like an eye ability float magnitude? No. Well, I'm gonna have to figure out a clever way around this. I mean, one way to do it is to represent the float value as an int instead and say like it goes on a scale of 1 to 100 and every step is 1% and then convert it to a float later on. That might be the way to do it. But that doesn't sound right. Hello, Defected. Welcome. Good morning. How are you doing? Snupbill, thank you for the IDR 10,000. Very much appreciate that as always. Very generous. Thank you, thank you. And always good to see you here. The message yummers. Look at that. We love the yummers. It's a big part of the Firebelly Games lore here. Hello, Clickertail. Welcome. Good to see you again. I love seeing all the familiar faces. Love seeing all the familiar faces. All right, what are we going to do here? What are we going to do? Base card ability, eye ability, magnitude. What are we going to do? I mean, where is this even used? Let's see. Eye ability, magnitude. Lead. Yeah, so that's kind of how I'm doing it in this buff critical chance here. Copy ability. Dynamic magnitude ability. Eye ability modifier. Is this even used? Convert shield to fire. Oh, it is. Okay, interesting. Okay. Yeah, I mean, maybe this will be fine. So let's just do int base value. Kebab case naming strategy, what? Okay, get magnitude, set base magnitude. Okay, so this plus equals, this needs to be critical chance modifier, plus equals magnitude divided by 100F. So we'll just do that. I mean, that'll be fine. Okay, so we got the self-critical chance modification. I guess we'll just update the zombie first. Let's see if we can get this to work. So this needs to be a non-combat composed ability. Conditional critical chance, we're going to get rid of this. Maybe actually, I don't know. Let me see. Conditional ability decorator. Yeah, so maybe we need, let's get rid of this one. Conditional crit multiplier. Get rid of this, get rid of that. Okay. Var critical chance modifier is equal to new self critical chance modification. This needs to be an int. Base critical chance is 50. It's going to be a little bit weird, but that's right. Base critical chance 50. Chance scalar make additive scalar 5. Critical chance divided by 100. Okay. And then we can put the critical... Oh. We're going to get rid of this. Base critical chance there. And then in here, we're going to do critical chance modifier set magnitude, critical chance modifier dot set base magnitude. Oh no, this needs to be chance scalar, new chance, new chance. Okay. All right. I think that's right. Nope, this needs to be new chance. Okay. Hello, Neozoid. Welcome. Good to see you. By the way, how's your flu? Feeling better? Yeah, my cough is starting to subside. I still have some congestion, but definitely feeling better every day, so that's good. Definitely feeling better every day. Okay, so we got the critical chance modifier. Critical chance modifier. Okay. So there's that. So we're not entirely done here because we have to go to this base card. So we're changing these critical chance modifiers. So let me look at this. Critical chance modifier. Let's just look at base critical chance. Where is this used? Okay, chance is equal to base critical chance plus critical chance modifier. I'm also going to change this. mathf.clamp. We're going to do clamp chance to 0 or 100. Okay. Oh wait, this is a float. Oh, this needs to be 0 to 1, I think, actually. Yeah. Okay. So that should work. Get modified critical chance. We're going to do the same thing for get modified critical multiplier. Critical multiplier modifier. And we're going to clamp this. Actually, we don't need to clamp it. We'll do mathf.max of multiplier 0. So we'll just make sure it doesn't go below 0. Okay. So I think that will work. Let's just test it out. So project settings. We're going to add, we have zombie and honey already. Okay, perfect. Hello, Nicholas Dev. Welcome. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. All right, let's see. If there's an adjacent alchemical card, gain 50% critical chance and 1.5x critical multiplier. So the critical chance is working. If I remove that... Oh, wait. There's 2 alchemical cards. Okay, this is not working. Maybe this... Oh, this needs to be conditional. Oops. I need to put this in here. Critical chance modifier. Right. This needs to be conditional critical chance, I think. Okay, let's try it again. All right, so get rid of this. That is still not working. Why is it being fixed at 55%? How am I doing this? Let me look at the fryer. I think I may need to change something here. Non-combat abilities add range, ability get all flattened abilities. So I need to probably conditional ability decorator. I need to leverage this. Maybe what I need to do in my base card here. The problem is that conditional ability decorator is not being used in the update non-combat abilities. So I think what I probably should do is I should just do if not should execute ability continue. Let's try that. Okay, that works. Look at that. So now the zombie 5% crit here, but then when I put the honey next to it, because that's an alchemical card, that zombie gains 50% crit chance. If there's an adjacent alchemical card, gain 50% critical chance and 1.5x multiplier. So that is working now. So now we need to do the same thing for the critical multiplier. So let's do this. Let's create self-critical multiplier modification. So we'll create a new ability here. Self-critical multiplier modification. Critical multiplier modification. Critical multiplier modifier plus equals magnitude divided by 100. F. Okay. Hello, V. Welcome back. How you doing? I'm doing well. So now the zombie here, const int base critical multiplier, we'll do 150. Critical multiplier modifier, self-critical multiplier modification, base critical multiplier. Multiplier scalar, make additive scalar 25. Okay, and we don't need this anymore. Conditional crit multiplier. Okay. Critical multiplier modifier divided by 100. Oh, this needs to be get base magnitude. There we go. Okay. All right. Let's take a gander. Hello, Yaso Nex. I'm doing well. How are you? Happy to see your progress on the game. Yeah, thanks. We are making progress slowly but surely. Okay, this is not working. Hello, Ro.io. Welcome to the stream. How you doing? Good morning, good morning. What are we working on today? We're making some new abilities. Right now we're working on modifying the critical chance and critical multiplier of a card based on certain conditions. So the zombie here has a 5% crit chance until it gets placed next to an alchemical card, and then it has a plus 50% crit chance. We're trying to do the same thing with the crit multiplier now. But that appears not to be working. At the moment, anyway. Base critical multiplier plus critical multiplier modifier. Get modified critical multiplier. I don't know why this isn't working. Oh, because I didn't add the ability here. That would do it. There we go. 55% crit chance and a 3x multiplier. But if it's not adjacent to an alchemical, then it goes back to 5% and 1.5x. Sweet. All right, so I think that's working. So that fixes the zombie, which is good. So add ability to change crit attributes in non-combat. Okay, so now we fixed the zombie. Did I have that written down somewhere? Oh well. So fix the zombie. Now we can go back to making negative alchemy abilities. And we could do reduced crit chance. Var reduced crit chance is equal to new non-combat composed ability. Return. So var reduced crit is equal to new self crit chance modification. We'll do negative 25. Scalar ability scalars make additive scalar negative 5. And we'll do okay, that'll work. And then we can put the reduced crit here. Critical chance reduced by description utils.float 2%. Reduced crit dot get base magnitude divided by 100. Cool. And we could do a reduced crit multiplier as well. So just copy this. Reduced. Oh, this needs to be absolute as well. mathf.apps. Okay. We'll rename this to base mult. We'll do negative 50. Self-critical multiplier modification. Additive scalar. Negative 25. Cool. I think that'll work. Let's comment all these out and test it and see what happens. Someday I would love, maybe on the main channel, if it's not a stream VOD already, a tour of how you set up your ability and modifier system. Yeah, I would love to do that at some point for sure. Because I think that there's a lot of interesting things to discuss there. Could be helpful to some people. So let's put this here. I don't think this is right. Oh, maybe it is. Oh, maybe it is right. Yeah, that's right. Cool. Let's just do it again. I want to see the reduced crit multiplier as well. This one's not right either. Critical chance reduced by 50%. Wait a minute. Oh, that's the multiplier. I forgot to change this. Critical multiplier reduced by... We don't want this to be float to percent. We want this to be... that. That's why that was confusing me. QWERTY. Just wanted to pop in, have a good stream. Yeah, thanks, A the Ant. Good to see you as always. Critical multiplier reduced by 0.5x. Critical multiplier reduced by 0.5x. Critical chance reduced by 25%. Okay, that is working, I think. Awesome. Add reduced crit attributes to negative alchemies. Sweet. So I think that's a good list of negative alchemies to start with for the next playtest. So I think we'll call that good. And now we can move on to some new stuff. So adding more obelisk powers. I think this will be an interesting one. Let's see if we can think of some to do. I actually don't remember how to do obelisk powers, so... So to refresh, the obelisk is an event that changes nodes on the map, and then it also buffs the nodes of that type. So if I go to the obelisk here, transforms 3 nearby nodes into combat nodes. All nearby combat nodes reward 5 additional blood. So that's so that works. So when I select that, it will change some nodes into combat nodes. And then all combat nodes in a certain radius gain this blood reward is increased by 3 here. So that's the way that the obelisk works. And I only have 3 obelisk powers right now. There's one for the reagent, one for booster, and one for combat. So I think we need to just think of some more to add. Obviously, we probably need to do some new event types. So let's do one for... let's do one for... Maybe we'll do one for the shop. So new obelisk option, shop, amount to change just 1, transforms 1 nearby node into a shop. All nearby shop nodes will offer a 10% discount. So I don't know if I want to do that. What should we do? How should the shop node be buffed? I don't know. Anyone have any ideas? Anyone have any ideas for how to buff the shop node? I mean, a discount is an obvious one, I guess. Maybe it has a guaranteed card of a type. That could be an interesting one. Could have better guaranteed chance at a nicer item, still full price. You know what I just realized too? I think the shop might not work because I have a 3x3 node right now, which is a dragon. That might not look good on the shop. It might be taking up too much space. I'll have to test that. Turn limited boons. We could do this. We could say all cards offered by the shop will be upgraded by 1 tier. Do new shop node card tier map node effect. Shop node card tier map node effect. Cards offered shop are upgraded by 1 tier. Let's do this. All nearby shop nodes will contain cards upgraded by an additional tier. Maybe that'll work. Get grouped description. Description utils dot pluralize occurrences tiers. Cool. All right. Could also be an extra item choice in the shop. Yeah, I could do that. I would have to change the scene layout for that, but it's certainly doable. Okay, so now I have to figure out how to actually do this. I think I can do shop event, state machine. Where is this card configuration set? Card.increment tier. Okay. So this is generated at the beginning of the map, so I need to modify this further. Shop event state machine. So set shop configuration, current node.tier. I actually don't know where to put this. Var. Maybe I'll just pass in the run map node here. That might work. If I do that, I actually don't know how to do this. All right, give me 1 second here. I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that. So I think what I need to do in here is just do something like public static bool count map node effects of type. No. Int. Return count. Well, we could just do 0 here, I suppose. Do 0, and then here. Okay, I think that will work. Pass in the current node there. Count map node effects of type. Shop node. Card tier map node effect. additional upgrade count. Let's do this. 4 var j is equal to 0. J is less than the additional upgrade count. Increment tier. Okay, I think that will work. I don't know. Let's just do this. I'll move this over into the shop event state machine. Okay, that should be fine. Well, let's see what happens. I don't know how I'm going to test this necessarily, but should be able to figure it out. So let's find an obelisk here. There's one. Hopefully we get the shop one. Nope, we did not. Did I do something wrong? No? See if this works. If this doesn't work, I'll change the code so that it guarantees. There we go. Transforms one nearby node into a shop node. All nearby shop nodes will contain cards upgraded by an additional tier. I actually think this might break. It didn't break. Oh, interesting. Alrighty. So yeah, all these cards are tier 2 now because that upgrade worked. Cool. I think that works good. All right then. So now we got to do some more obelisks stuff. So we've got, what other event types do we have? We've got combat booster, reagent, shop, max health, upgrade card. Let's do the upgrade card one. We'll do something similar. Loot table.add item, new obelisk option, upgrade card, map node effect. We're going to do upgrade twice, map node effect, transforms 2 nearby nodes into card upgrade nodes. All nearby card upgrade nodes will upgrade cards by twice. Let's just do that. Okay, so that will work. Well, we gotta actually write the code for that now, but map node effect. What did I call this? Upgrade twice map node effect. Upgrade card. So the problem is if this stacks, is equal to occurrences. So yeah, if the occurrences is 1, it will just say cards will be upgraded twice. Otherwise, it will, if it's like 2 occurrences, then it will say occurrences plus 1 times. Okay, that'll work. And now we've got to do the card upgrade. Okay, so how is this actually going to work? Upgrade event state machine. We'll create additional upgrades in here. Public void set additional upgrades. Okay. Or var j equals 0, j is less than additional upgrades. Cool. So now what I can do in my upgrade event state machine here is I guess I'll just borrow, oops. Borrow this. Upgrade container, set additional upgrades, additional upgrade count. Cool. All right, let's see if that works. Let's just remove 2 of these so that we don't have to worry about the RNG here. It's cool to see how fast you can make things in your systems. Yeah, the systems are pretty flexible the way that I've built them. So adding new content is generally pretty straightforward, which is good. Does the upgrade only work for one node after the buff, or can you visit all nearby nodes with the buff active? Yeah, the buff applies to all nearby nodes. So the obelisk changes some nodes within a certain radius, and then all nodes of that type receive the buff. So it transforms 2 nearby nodes into card upgrade nodes. All nearby card upgrade nodes will upgrade cards twice. So if we do that, we'll have those, and you can see that this one over here, even though it didn't change, you can see that that now has that cards will be upgraded twice buff here. So if I go here now and I put the zombie in there, I should see a tier 3 zombie. So it went from 1 to 3. And that's it. And so I could make my way over to these ones as well, but yeah, the obelisk buffs everything. So, and the reason for that is because, you know, it may change a node that you don't really want to visit. Maybe it's not an ideal path. Like, I don't really want to work my way up to that. But anything that's of that node type that's currently in the radius will also receive the buff. So you can kind of like, you know, buff things as you want. So yeah, but that works good. Add card upgrade. Buff. Obelisk power. So we're getting there. We're getting there. Lots more stuff to do. So what's the next one? We could do a max health artifact one. What do we want to do for the artifact? Let's see, reagent, enchant. Could do one for the enchant as well. Let me think. Yeah, we want to do the health increase one, probably. So we need obelisk powers for the enchant event, the max health event, and also the artifact event. So if you have any ideas, please put them in the chat for how to upgrade those. I'm thinking maybe the enchant. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have any ideas. So let me know if you have ideas, put them in the chat. I'm going to take a quick 3-minute break. And when I come back, we'll figure out some of the remaining obelisk powers. So, BRB. Hello everybody, your favorite niche e-celeb is back. I didn't see any ideas put in the chat, so we're gonna try something. I don't know if it's gonna work. We are going to do an artifact one here. So let's do the artifact one. So the idea I have for the artifact one, new obelisk option, map node effect, artifact, additional choice, map node effect, transforms one nearby node into an artifact node. All nearby artifact nodes will allow you to choose an additional artifact. Okay, so we'll do that. This one will probably not stack though, because there's only 3 artifacts available. So these are designed to be overlapped. So if you happen to go to 2 obelisks and you choose effects at both obelisks that affect the same node types, then the obelisk effects are designed to stack. So for instance, this shop node one, if I get 2 obelisks and I select the shop both times, and there is a shop that is within the area of both of the obelisks, then the cards offered by the shop will be upgraded by 2 tiers instead of 1 tier. But I think with something like adding an additional artifact choice, I don't think that I mean, it certainly can't stack beyond 3 because there's only 3 artifacts available. So I think what I'll do is I'll maybe just make it not stackable. Anyway. New file. Okay. Artifact, additional choice, map node effect, artifact here. An additional artifact can be chosen. And we're just going to do the same thing here. Do I need to override this? Yeah. Okay. Actually, you know what I'll do is I'll just do this. Get description. Okay. So there's that. Now we need to do the artifact event state machine. So this is the artifact event container. I'm going to need to figure out how to allow multiple choices. So let's do private int choices remaining is equal to 1. I'm gonna have to test this pretty carefully. Select artifact. Select player.play, disable mouse input, hide artifact. This is going to be a little bit tricky. So choices remaining minus minus. We'll decrement that. We're going to pass the choices remaining along here. Int choices remaining. And in here, on artifact selected, int choices remaining. If choices remaining is equal to 0, then we'll do this cleanup animation here. Okay, so now in this container, yeah, this is going to be a little bit hard to do. On pillar clicked. Pillar control. If choices remaining is equal to 0, we're going to disable the mouse input. So I think this might end up in a bad state here, but we're going to go ahead and discover what the bad state is. So I'm going to go to my obelisk configuration here. We'll just get rid of all these ones here. Excuse me. Okay. Okay, transform into an artifact node. Oh, wait. Actually, never actually did the code here. Set choices remaining. Artifact event state machine in here. Bar choice count is equal to map node effects manager, count map node effects of type, artifact additional choice map node effect. Okay. Artifact container dot set choice. Set choices remaining. Choice count. Okay. Now we will try it. This one is going to be tricky because there's a lot of state here. I was just, obviously I wrote the code with the assumption that only one artifact would be chosen. So now I have to just make sure that... Oops, I chose the wrong thing. Just to make sure that the state is all good for choosing multiple artifacts now. Okay, so we've got the artifact now. We'll go here. If I select this, so it hides all those. This is still enabled, and those ones are hidden, so that shouldn't happen. And what happens if I re-roll? Okay, so re-rolling works just fine. I just need to disable this one. Okay. So I need to not hide the other artifacts, and I need to disable that clickable control, that pillar. Nope. I'm just gonna look at the scene setup here. How in the world? Artifact event container, there we go. So this is what the scene looks like. Pillar 2 control. Okay, so pillar controls is what I'm looking for. Artifact event container. Yeah, so this artifact. Okay, so in here, else pillar controls index dot add mouse Add input lock. So we're going to add an input lock to the pillar that we select. This needs to be moved into if choices remaining is equal to 0. And then when we do the reroll, I think it's fine actually. Okay. Is that going to be it? That might be it. Let's see. Oh no, the reroll needs to re-enable the sprite. So this sprite is getting hidden here. Artifact sprites.visible, artifact tooltip, hide artifact. Okay. So this artifact sprite, so when we do the reroll here, reroll, play reroll here. We're going to do artifact sprites I.visible is equal to true right here. Okay, let's see if that works. Okay, transform into an artifact node. It's all the way over there. Got to rework the boosters too. I don't like how the booster event works. It's not very interesting. Okay. An additional artifact can be chosen. Okay, so we are going to take... Let's take the spade. Okay, and I should be able to take a spider egg here. Okay, that worked perfectly. So now we're going to do a reroll. Let's just do this. Okay. Let's see if this works. I don't know. So we're going to take one. So I'll take the ritual candle and then I'll reroll. That rerolls all of them. This is still disabled after the reroll. So I need to do that as well. If pillar controls I.is mouse input disabled. Pillar controls I.remove input lock. We're almost there. I think this one is actually a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Okay, let's take the broken sundial, reroll, and now we can select all of these. Let's do vampire fangs. And we're good. There are some errors here though. Tempted to remove input lock where none were present. So we gotta fix that. Oh, I see. Okay, we're gonna do this instead. For each var pillar control in pillar controls, if pillar control is mouse input disabled, remove input lock. So what was happening is the clickable coordinator was disabling mouse input on all the pillars, and then all of the pillars were having their input locks removed here, and then this was calling enable mouse input, which was also trying to remove the lock again. Anyway, it's just a implementation detail, but what I'll do is I'll just make sure to zero out the input locks here before the clickable coordinator does its thing. So I think that should work. I think that should work. There we go. Okay. Grab the iron gauntlet. Reroll. No errors in the debugger. Grab the thorns here. And we are good to go. Cool. I think there's one other thing that I want to try. I think it's going to work, but I just want to make sure. I want to try re-rolling multiple times. Okay. Artifact node. Okay. Let's re-roll a couple times. Oh no, I pressed the wrong button. That's all right. Really? Okay, let's re-roll multiple times. And then take this, and then re-roll multiple times. Okay, perfect. That now works. Add multiple artifact choice as obelisk power. All right, we are cooking. We are getting through this. All right, let's just keep going with the obelisk powers, I guess, because I think I have 2 more events for obelisk powers that I want to add. So we don't yet have a max health one. We also don't have an enchant one. We could do something similar with the enchant. We could make it so that you could select multiple enchants. No, here's what I want to do. For the enchant, well, this is going to be it. I was thinking for the enchant, so yeah, that's not going to work. I was thinking the enchant could apply the enchant to multiple cards at once, but the grid is not big enough for that. A slight modification to that would be just allow it to be used multiple times. So after you apply the enchant, you can swap out the cards and apply another one. The problem is going to be, how am I going to communicate that to the player? Well, I mean, let's just try it, I suppose. Yeah, let's just try it. I don't know how it's going to work, but So got the enchant container here. This is going to be very similar to what I've done already. Obelisk option, type enchant, amount to change. We'll do 2. Enchant additional application map node effect. Transforms 2 nearby nodes into enchant nodes. All nearby enchant nodes will allow you to apply an additional enchantment. To enchant an additional card. That makes more sense. Okay. Map node effect. An additional card can be enchanted. We got occurrences. Occurrences equals 1 and additional. I think that'll work. So an additional card can be enchanted, or 2 additional cards can be enchanted, 3 additional cards can be enchanted, etc. Enchant event state machine. Public void set uses. Private int uses remaining. So I think this is going to be relatively similar to the artifact here. Just the uses remaining equals uses remaining. Okay. And then let's just put that in the enchant event state machine here. Var uses is equal to map node effects manager dot count map node effects of type enchant additional application map node effect context dot current node +1. Set uses there. Okay, now we got to figure out how to make this work. On tentacle clicked. Uses remaining minus minus. We're going to have to modify these animations here a little bit. Okay, so enchant container. If uses remaining is greater than 0, we're just going to continue. Play selected, uses remaining equals 0. Okay. On finished. Where is that being emitted? If has applied enchant and uses remaining is equal to 0. Actually, I don't think I need this has applied enchant anymore. Yeah, I don't think I need that. We're going to get rid of this. We're going to get rid of that. And we could just look at the uses remaining here. Uses remaining is equal to 0. Okay. Well, there's nothing left to do really except to test it out. I'm sure there's going to be some issues here, so we will see what issues come up, but should be interesting. Cool. Go to enchant here. Swarm echo. Okay, so I could do this. Echo? Oh, it didn't finish its animation. Okay. And also these all became unclickable. And that board got locked. Okay. So we're gonna have quite a bit to fix here. Enchant container, add board placement lock. This needs to happen only if uses remaining is equal to 0. We're gonna play selected here. Wait a minute. Why is this not working? Oh, shader speed. Oh. Right. Material dot set shader parameter, shader speed, initial speed. There we go. Maybe that should be part of the tween as well. Tween property, material, speed, initial speed from 20. I think that's it. So that should fix that. Why now are these tentacles not clickable? On tentacle clicked. Oh, I have like a validator. Let's take a look. Clickable validator. Add clickable validator. I actually don't know why those were invalid to click, but we'll see. Turn cooldown is reduced by 1. Why did that play those out? This encounter is too weak to add more enchantments to this card. Ah! What in the heck? Oh, this broke, that's why. Speed does not exist. What? Oh, I think this is why. Right, this needs to be shader parameter. I think that's right. Okay. I think it maybe just bugged out because of the fact that the tween failed. So hopefully now this will work. Still lurking, Neozoid? An additional card can be enchanted. Let's see what happens. Turn cooldown is reduced by 1. Oh, that was not good. Okay, well that's kind of working. It's working in theory anyway. Oh, get shader parameter. This needs to be speed. That's probably why. I'm just going to check and see if this works. What the heck is going on? Why is it doing that? Oh, maybe I can't tween that. That might be why. Maybe I think the speed value changing is actually screwing it up a little bit. So we're gonna put, oops. We're gonna put this line back. We'll get rid of this. That must be why. Okay, that's okay. We'll just reset the speed in the tween here. So set shader speed there. All right. It must be the case that changing the speed is like changing how the UVs are sampled, so it makes it look like it's going faster. It just makes it jittery, I guess. So we'll see. Okay, so we've added echo to that one. Then we could do it again. Cool. That seems to work. Nice. Okay, that's working good. Now I just want to make sure that didn't break the base case for this. So if I go to the enchantment here, I just want to make sure that doing the single one still works. Yeah, okay, good. All right, that appears to be working. I think that was relatively simple as well. Not too bad. Okay, that's going to be it for the stream today. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you all for being here. Happy Saturday. I hope you guys enjoy your weekends. I will probably be streaming tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern again. My Sundays are usually not free, but tomorrow's an exception. So hope to see you tomorrow. We'll continue on with this stuff. Again, we're just working through the backlog here, trying to get this all done for the playtest. And yeah, so if you like the game, if you want to support me, please consider wishlisting the game on Steam. You can also join the Discord that's linked in the description below. I also have the Patreon linked and also my Udemy courses. So please consider supporting in any way that you can. I would very much appreciate it. And I hope you all have a good day, like I said, and I will hopefully see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern. Okay, bye-bye everyone.